feeling, first of all?
I'm good.
Yeah, with the lip, you got some stitches in there?
Yeah.
What happened? What, just like a cut, or?
I think my tooth cut my lip.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just,
No, you're good.
what do you think happened in the second half? Their scoring was just kind of down, and it didn't seem like you guys were able to hit anything.
Yeah, they was getting out in transition a lot, and it was just like a kind of downhill thing. Just kept on getting out in transition.
Tell you, how much did that affect your being able to drive and stuff with your lip like that?
It didn't really affect it. I think it just wasn't one of my better games. Yeah, it didn't really affect it.
You guys had a strong first half. Close. What went wrong in the second half? Was there anything different that they had coming out of it?
Yeah, we stopped. We didn't even win 50-50 balls, and then they started getting out in transition. So yeah, just our defense.
What have you guys learned here from this conference tournament? Get ready for the NCAA tournament. What are you guys gonna have to do here now? The next loss is the end of your season.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make adjustments like in the game. It can't be like after the game because it's just after the game we're done. So we just gotta make adjustments on the fly.
Was there any adjustments you guys were trying to make, like in huddles or anything that weren't focusing?
Yeah, we just kept on pushing for transition defense, but we were turning the ball over, so that's hard to do when we turn it over. And there's an advantage when they're leaking out and running out. So we just gotta take care of the ball.
How are you guys turning that over? Is that anxiety? Is it just lack of presentness? Like, what is going on behind that?
I think we just got to be tougher with the ball. Obviously, teams are going to pressure and do all those stuff, but we just got to be tougher with the ball.
I don't know if you asked this, but it looks like you got some stitches. How many stitches did you get?
Yeah, nah. But yeah, I got stitches.
What was the post-game locker room talk like? Did Mark Pope speak to you all yet?
Yeah, I'm just bouncing back, now, if you lose a game, it's done. Like, you're done. So, just gotta learn from this. Take a look in the mirror at each other. At yourself, and see what you can do better.
What do you feel like was the biggest weakness in tonight? Like the biggest miss during the game for you all?
Turnovers. Yeah, that was probably the biggest thing.
How big of a relief? Mark talked about before the game that Lamont got the best news possible. Just how big of a relief is that, knowing he's probably going to be good to go for next week?
It's a big relief. We always want one of our brothers to play with us, so yeah, it's good news.
How frustrating is it to just always have somebody out, somebody going down, you bleeding everywhere, getting hit in the face?
Yeah, it's basketball. You wish you could control what you can control, but you can't. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's basketball.
Is there something to be said about kind of the fresh start that comes with the NCAA tournament and kind of moving past the injuries and everything that's kind of led up to this point?
Yeah, it's a fresh start in terms of we playing different people, but we still gotta. This loss can't go in vain. We gotta learn from it and kind of have an edge because now it's win or go home.
Obviously, disappointing way to go out in the first tournament of my career, but I think there's a lot of learning moments to experience, to be gained, and so I'm looking to take that to the rest of my career.
Anthony, do you feel it? Like, were your legs sore or anything like that?
I don't know if it was as much that as they're a very fast-paced team. Credit to Alabama. So we're running, we're running in transition defense, and so there's no excuses from us. Every other team is playing back-to-back nights as well, so they have to go play back-to-back tomorrow night. So we know that's the deal coming into it. So
that kind of came back.
Okay, from both of you guys, what'd you see tonight?
I think their pace was really good, and I guess with the kind of a shortened lineup we had, I think that was tough for us in some parts. But I just feel like we got away from us, and they played a great game. Hats off to them, and we just got to learn from it and get better.
yeah, their transition offense, our transition defense wasn't great. Alabama for playing at such a fast pace, and I think they exposed us a little bit there. But I think we have a few spots that are pretty glaring that we're going to go work on this week and come back better next week.
We've heard from your coach and some of your teammates too about this time of year being so important for the freshmen to not be freshmen anymore. It's easier said than done. What do you take from this tournament What do you learn and take that with you into the next tournament?
Yeah, I mean, every game, especially the more time that we're getting, is learning experience. It's just it needs to be exponentially faster. We need to be learning at a fast pace, and that's what we've been challenged to do, and what we have to do as a team to contribute. And so, yeah, I think we're going to come back next week better. More confident and ready to go.
Travis, for you?
Yeah, I think March is a great time of the year. At this point, we've got to step up and be ready to make plays. And I feel like we had glimpses of that tonight. Just being able to do that consistently and just playing hard next year on our game plan, I think will be important for us down the stretch.
You have two teammates on here on this bench with stitches at the moment. How physical has it been? I mean, I don't know how you don't have stitches. How physical have these two games been specifically?
Yeah, as you see, just in general, it's very physical. We've got to adjust to that. But just credit to our guys. We continue to fight, continue to play hard no matter the circumstances. I think that's something that will carry over into the NCAA for us and take us a long way.
Pope talks all the time about frustration as a word and living with it, surviving through it, and using it to your advantage, I guess. How do you take the frustration of this game and move past it for the next one?
Yeah, there's obviously a lot of mistakes we made tonight. We also did a lot of things well, so I think it's just kind of balancing those and taking the parts where we're frustrated and turning it into fuel, turning it into an opportunity to get better, and turning it into an opportunity to get wins down the stretch.
Alabama, I think that for you guys, our goal as well is to they scored points and play in the style or maybe even the pace that tonight. You guys have not been able to figure out. I think
I don't know if I would say that they're a bad matchup, but they're a really good team. They're doing a really good job of running their stuff, and we just we haven't been able to figure them out. They've been able to pick us apart.
I don't know if we responded.
I wish we had another opportunity, but they didn't leave any doubt. They kind of just they made it really hard for us.
This game,
Definitely a tough game for us. Frustrated with how we played. Felt like we just didn't do a great job defensively, and credit to Alabama.
Any loss, it hurts. So, like I said, we're just anxious to get back and correct it this week and get to work.
Obviously tonight didn't go the way you wanted it to, but looking at this tournament in the macro, the big game yesterday, BBN, you grew up in Kentucky. What was it like getting to experience your first SEC tournament in Kentucky jersey?
Yeah, man, it was really surreal. It's super cool. I mean, we have a home games in Nashville. That's just something that I don't take for granted, and I know my teammates don't either. So yeah, I'm just super grateful to wear that Kentucky jersey, and hopefully we can give BBN a treat next week.
So it seems like there's a chance Lamont Butler might be available for the NCAA tournament. It's kind of Mark Pope said they got good news. If so, kind of what's that for you all? Like, how much was the drop off without him tonight versus with him?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Lamont's an incredible player. We'd do anything to have him back. He's super talented, and he's also a great leader. So having our guy Lamont back will help us for sure.
Trevor, you're playing a game like this with a team that's really fast-paced, jacking up threes like that. How tough is it to stay within your game and not get caught up in that?
Yeah, I mean, Alabama's a really good team. Congrats to them tonight. They have really talented players as well. So I mean, they play a good, solid basketball, and tonight they're the better team.
What do you learn from a game like this that can help you next week?
Yeah, I mean, we just gotta get back, get healthy, recover, watch the film, and just take little pieces from this game and then last night's game, and just see what we can do for next week.
How cool is it to come down here after being a Kentucky fan, your whole life, and playing in an SEC tournament and seeing the crowd come out like they do?
Yeah, I mean, BBN's incredible. Like I was saying earlier, there's no other place in the world where you have a home game at the SEC tournament. I mean, we're in Nashville, and it's blue everywhere. So, I mean, we're super grateful for them, and hopefully we can give them a treat next week.
Brandon, I was going to ask tonight and play about this. Like, how much pressure you kind of know when you guys have accomplished a lot this season, but at the end of the day, kind of you're judged on what happens in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, just going out there knowing like this is a win or go home type of situation. We got a lot of seniors on the team, so everybody going out there, the young guys, fight for them because this could be their last college game. So just not trying to send them off on the wrong note, So yeah.
I'm sure you've answered this question 100 times, but what kind of happened in that second half? Game kind of got away from you guys.
Oh yeah, just too many defensive collapses. I'd say just letting them get whatever they wanted. Hats off to Alabama, very good offensive team, as everybody know. But just going forward, just cleaning up those little things so we don't have the same result that we had tonight.
How frustrating is it? Because you know the little mistakes you all make, but it just keeps happening.
Just very frustrating, just a mental thing. Like if you're a basketball player, it's frustrating to just get blown out in the SEC tournament. But just try not to let this whole baggage on our shoulders going into the tournament, like starting off fresh and knowing like it's a win or go home situation.
How excited are you for selection Sunday to see where you go and know who you're going to play?
Yeah, very excited. It's my first one. Last year I didn't get to have one, so very excited, looking towards it. So yeah.
What's the older guys told you about the tournament?
It's very like intense, and they were just saying how like they feel like SEC it was like March Madness, like all the games. So just being in the best conference, I feel like helped us going into that playing like just not SEC schools, but like other conferences. I'll say.
What was kind of Mark Pope's words, if he did speak to y'all when y'all got back in here? Kind of just quick thoughts about that.
Yeah, just telling us like move on to the next play and clean up some of our defensive stuff we was messing up in the first half. But I feel like we had a very good first half. Started off strong. Second half we just fell down on each other and just didn't get the job done.
Injuries throughout the whole roster. Two of your players have went and got stitches, came back in the game. What can you say about just your team, including yourself, all the fight that you will have to win these games?
Yeah, just injuries happen. We down on it right now, so just glad that we got to take it back tonight. But it's part of the game, so just trying to get those guys healthy so we can make this run in the tournament.
Yeah, Mark Pope said they got good news about Lamont Butler. There's a chance he could be back for the actual tournament. Just how beneficial is that for y'all to have him back?
That's huge for us. We missing Lamont, not just him, but Jackson and Kerr out there. I feel like we're not gonna make that an excuse, but just next guy up mentality. All coach been preached to us, so just hopefully we can get them back for this March run back on.
The way a bunch of seniors on this team, that next game could be the last with this bunch. How do you kind of handle the emotions of that, knowing that this could be the end?
I mean, I feel like that's probably going to make us play better. That's always going to be in the back of our minds, even in the past 2 games. So just knowing that, just leave everything out there.
Obviously, the SEC is one of the better conferences in the last couple of years, maybe of all time. How do you think those teams have prepared you for maybe some mid-majors that you might play, or teams in different conferences?
I mean, they prepared us well. It's been a battle all season, but I feel even though they prepared us well, it's March. Any mid-major can do anything on any given night. So it's just about us being disciplined and keep just acting as if we're still an SEC player. Really. So
obviously, shoulder, wrist, lip, everything. It seems like every game someone's going out, someone's bleeding, something like that. How frustrating is that, knowing that you guys can't just play the game without something bad happening?
I mean, it's basketball. Everyone gets injured at some point, and it's just how you're gonna handle it, how you're gonna respond to it, and we've done that throughout the whole season ever since Cole went down. So I feel it's something we respond well with as a team. So it's just whatever it is moving forward.
And you talk about responding, just a 29-point loss. What's kind of the message before the NCAA tournament next week?
You said before?
What's kind of the message?
Just to kind of put us behind us, knowing that we took a loss like this and just kind of building on it over these next few days before we head out. So I feel like that's what it is.
What went wrong in this game?
We just wasn't playing ourselves in the second half. I feel like they got out in transition, which we knew they would do, and they just made shots. I feel like that's what it is.
There were a couple plays that you're kind of shading towards the rim because their guards are getting past, so you're shading towards the rim, then Grant Nelson hits that three. It's like, what was there kind of any answer? It felt like you guys were playing well in the first half.
Yeah, in the first half, I feel like we was too, and they went on a little bit of a run of my turnover, which was my fault. But in the second half, like I said, it was just them getting out in transition ready. So, yeah.
You being a senior, I know it kind of gives a meaning to survive in advance because the next loss is the end of your college career. Just kind of what's the mindset going into that one, going into your
just remembering that every game and just using it for my energy and motivation going in, and just knowing that I gotta leave everything out on the floor.
We'll talk some time about frustration and living with it in a game. Did you feel frustrated today?
I mean, I did, especially in the first half, second half. You're always going to feel frustration in the game regardless of what the score is. So I think that's just something we all went through and we all responded in different ways. So.
You don't have a ton of young guys on this team, but you have a couple.
Yeah.
What's the message to them specifically with this first postseason loss and how it moves into the next tournament?
Even though they're young, I feel like they've rode the roller coaster with us all this year and the adversity we've had and how we responded. So I feel like they kind of understand pretty clear how we're going to respond to this and what it should look like. So.
I see the KT tape and the leg sleeve. Are you all right?
Yeah, I've won this since I got injured in preseason, so it's nothing to me.
That's Brandon, but you guys in the front court, I mean, obviously you're not guards, so you can't pick up what you're missing from the guards being out, but how do you and Brandon and just the front court in general, you guys kind of pick up the set, just help out with you guys missing those guys?
Yeah, like you said, we just got to kind of, help them out any way we can, whether it's just helping them get open in the back or just, trying to run the offense for us. So just helping out any little way we can and just trying to take the pressure off the guards. So.
You talked earlier in the season about having to figure out what kind of physicality is allowed in the SEC, right? Like coming from your old conference into this conference, it's different. Has it felt different again these past 2 days, or is this on par with what the regular season felt like?
I feel like it's the same referee, so I feel like it's definitely the same. The foul count tonight was the same as it's always been, so I don't feel like there was any change really.